For all of the time we spend together in investigating music collaboratively, and specifically for this video, though we keep a wide net here in terms of any country of origin, because there's talent abroad, but of a European metal focus, I've hit on many countries, some of particular standouts and return voyages, but not England yet. Either maybe I'm forgetting about one name or two, or this is the first encounter. Either way, another initiation, perhaps, certainly to North Hertfordshire, and if I'm mispronouncing that, feel free to clarify down below. I'm trying to get it correct, but that is definitely a first debut with another new artist that we're recognizing here. But a collaboration, per usual, a familiar name that brings me in, to Ritual. And as I promised you, this piece is part of a larger journey of where we're currently sitting on step 3 of a DIANNE van Giersbergen artist deep dive, a Dutch-based spinto-soprano singer who I've quickly fallen in love with, concerning many other, to be fair, I'm not trying to overshadow any previous encounters we've taken or will be taking with other capable operatic vocal talents, notably of, again, a symphonic metal immersion from what we typically see. And I don't know the edge that Ritual is attempting to voice here with Enigma, or more specifically Seven Gates. We're going to explore that together and see which face it wears. I could see a versatility, but however DIANNE approaches a song, just based on our time together with nearly completion of 2 phases. The first one's almost there, with a Zandria consultation of her time with that group back several years ago, but still, transcendent pieces on delivery. They still mean so much. Or very recently, DIANNE, her solo project, which sounds so capable in terms of new developments. I cannot wait for whatever's next for Soulward Bound. The first 2 entries were so great. Or collaborative roots. Again, step 3. Step 4 being Ex Libris, and we will get to that group as well in a Zandria deep dive, I think deserved for them, certainly of what I know of their voice, but in collaboration projects, the first one of which we witnessed together, that being Archie Kane, and similar to Ritual, a new arrival here. New feature in acknowledgement of them, but DIANNE, just the latest entry in our artist deep dive, again, deserved for her, I think, based on her vocal capability and performance power, on the many layers that she voices in terms of her vocal delivery, and the changes, how swift and natural. I'm still in a bit of a state of shock on, again, I knew she'd be great, but just in our time together, such a transfixing quality to any pieces she touches, whether in solo standing, or in harmony of a group, or collaboratively. She always achieves so much. And I hope if this is a fresh introduction for you to both Ritual and DIANNE, perhaps, that you feel at home here. Again, music is best enjoyed in company, and however you approach in whatever vantage point extreme of familiarity. I welcome you, and I hope you feel entertained as we examine plenty of great contributions into the music world together, notably on Fresh Initiation. That's what oftentimes happens with the European metal journey, and no exception today with Ritual, a first arrival on those grounds, but to DIANNE, our latest time together via Seven Gates. I'm looking forward to hearing this one, and we have a visualizer to accompany. I'm sure it'll be quite the treat of an experience, not just on number, but on performance too. I'm looking for, because there's a real, again, I like visualizers for this specifically, whether it be a live performance or just a recording of it, in how I've explored many talents, or a music video, whatever form this takes. And I'm not exactly sure. You sense a connection, certainly through passion. You get that immediately with DIANNE. It becomes quite clear in the audio, but when you have that aid, you truly sense the love she has for what she produces. And I feel quite honored recognizing her as I do any artist. And Ritual as well as a first inquiry. I'm really looking forward, though, to future chapters, again, in our deep dive investigation of DIANNE's career in many different facets. Big favorite of mine, with other opportunities for different artists of similar standing to come, certainly, but DIANNE, a fun journey we're taking together. Let's continue to widen out. Hang on a second. All right. Perfect. Heavier pronouncement on this one so far, and again, there's a versatility in symphonic metal. If that's the direction it goes, I don't know. I'm sensing not necessarily. This is one of the heavier pieces I've seen on bass, but she still works, doesn't she? Oh man. Very different extreme. modern grunge influence, I guess? It's an interesting shade. We've not investigated the type of deliberate pacing yet. Non-metal organizations. But she does work for it. Whatever extreme and whatever face. Truly amazes me how great of a fit she is. Deliberate punk dig. It might not be symphonic metal directly in any way, but she adds that quality in, if any, touching on the vocal range for her to be the higher notes. You know, I wasn't prepared for this one again on voice. It's really interesting. Entertaining, though. Great emphasis, though. A really strong number. Good vocal drifts, too, again on the guttural hits. Return to initiation, maybe? Let's see. Similar construction, at least on entrance. It's sinking in as an experience. I'm just still kind of in a state of surprise of it. Wow. Not symphonic metal direct. That's been every point of access we've explored of DIANNE's voice in particular so far. Do they credit their inspired direction? Hang on, I'm going to give a look-see on their website. I have it pulled up. Or I think the Bandcamp entry. Is anything identified? Hard rock and metal. Okay, definitely I would say a grunge and punk force. That's what I immediately see based on the way that song is paved. That type of structuring on vocals, especially at a spoken word threshold, we've not necessarily spotlighted as greatly yet. A couple entrances that might be close, still different, but I'm thinking notably of an American entrance with, let's say, Falling in Reverse definitely comes to mind, and maybe some other entrances that we have upcoming for Phase 2, I forget at the moment. No, I think there might be a few. On rhythm, perhaps. Yeah. Speaking of pieces I know, August Burns Red might follow that path. I'm not exactly sure, at least some of their past pieces do in a similar vein, but this is definitely a deliberate hard rock footing. Harder riffs, harder energy. Again, versatility, though, naturally within symphonic metal. Much different expression here, but again, anything DIANNE is involved with, however presented and reined in. This one's a little more limited in terms of her involvement, but again, it adds on a very nice quality to the musical side. Pseudo-instrumental appearances of how her vocal credits materialize with this, and it's a really nice touch added into a number of already a good backing foundation to it. Again, steady riffs, fun rewind. Yes. Yeah, rewind quality, definitely. I'm thinking of some earlier 2000 songs, too, that are coming to mind where the names escape me of the artists in particular tracks, but immediately there's a bit of a revival experience I'm having on this in reflection. Ritual, I think, is going to be a fun group to dig down to, again, especially of a much more distinct sound of a European foray than we've explored generally. Seven Gates has quite an interesting entrance. Again, quite a surprise number and a bit of a twist of DIANNE's appearances here, again, not fitting the symphonic metal typical, but still, she fits very, well. Wherever her range is placed and her specific voice, however controlled, and I really like how it's investigated here, where she materializes as an instrumental and scoring add-on. Really interesting. Again, such an ethereal quality and lightness of range. Less, well, no, there's still a vibrato presence, but again, there's specific definition in however her voice appears. I've said this with her credits in previous encounters. There's not one room for error. She doesn't leave any openings. It's such a precise delivery on every encounter we have. Each note hit clearly in the exact appearance it needs to. In whatever range, and it is extensive, and Ritual just continues to expand it. Fascinating. But a fun appearance all the same. One that does feel pleasurably nostalgic to older rock roots, and takes on a way different vibe in our explorations together of many artists, again, not fitting the symphonic metal direct typical, though again, I keep an open door to any type of musical expression, certainly of European release. And this one sets in nicely as a departure number, with equal aptitude concerning DIANNE. Very impressed of her work. The shades of exercise of her vocals here really impressed me in how it's presented. It's very different and distinct, but instantly memorable. Plus you have the performance, which instantly, as I said, connects you in passion directly to any artist. I get that immediately. A fun realization. Another worthy addition to not only my library, but our journeys of mutual consideration down the European metal route, however that materializes, and I'm curious to dig further with Ritual, and certainly to continue where we are currently with DIANNE van Giersbergen spotlights, again warranted for her, as you can see. In whatever shade of vocal presentation her voice takes, it's amazing. I would love to hear your thoughts down below on that one. Our first experience perhaps together with Ritual, or maybe you're a familiarized fan. What do you think of it? Of course, musical consumption, as I call it, is very much a independently led journey in how we receive it. So feel free to define your own thoughts if you wish to, with the promise from me of more entrances coming, not just of Ritual, but continuing on down the DIANNE van Giersbergen route of investigation, notably with Ex Libris and maybe a couple other collaborations I've not recognized yet. Yes, I'm pretty sure, at least a Phase 2 present recollection mapping of what I've planned. Anyway, it'll be fun journeys to continue, I think, on both counts. To witness a differentiated voice from normality here with Ritual, as well as to see DIANNE's vocal involvement in other places, but an interesting fit for Seven Gates that, typical to any piece she touches, works well given the controlled extreme of where she goes. This one? Really nice fresh face to it. Clear definition of appearance, and I really admire that versatility with her. It's amazing, again, whatever piece we inquire on, whatever's mandated by track direction and band normality, she readily appeals to. Truly a gifted performer. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.